The Hippopotamus Named Thomas by Mama B. There once was a hippopotamus named Thomas who could never keep a promise. Every time he said he would do something, he wasn't being honest. He would agree because it sounded like it was something he should probably do, but then Thomas would get lazy and never follow through. If his friends asked him to come over and play, he would say he would come, but then stay inside all day. When his teachers would tell him to read, Thomas agreed he should. But then when it was time for Thomas to, he wouldn't when he said he would. His friends began to notice. His family noticed too. His teachers felt like they could never get Thomas to do what he said he was going to do. So eventually, Thomas's friends stopped asking him to come and play. Then Thomas began to wonder if their friendship was okay. His parents started questioning him if he did his chores. When he would say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, they didn't believe him anymore. His teachers started reading to him instead of letting him read by himself. Thomas began to wonder why he was being treated differently than everybody else. So Thomas asked his friends, "What's wrong? Y'all don't ask me to play." His friends shook their heads. "You don't come anyway. You always get our hopes up, then you let us down. We really want you to play, but you never end up coming around. We felt like we didn't matter, and you just said things to not sound rude. But eventually we got tired of you always falling through." Thomas had no idea his friends felt that way. "I'm sorry. I'll be better," Thomas said, but his friends weren't sure he'd ever play. Thomas then went home and asked his parents why they don't trust him anymore. The hippopotamus named Thomas didn't want to do mindless chores. "We all have responsibilities," Thomas's dad said. "There are many things we don't want to do, but still do instead." His mom told him that his word is powerful. "You have to stick by what you do and say, so people know they can count on you at the end of the day." His parents then asked Thomas to please stop steadily lying, and instead of giving him the benefit of the doubt, he needed to show he was trying. Thomas knew he needed to be better to his parents and his friends. He needed to make them proud at every day's end. So the next day, the hippopotamus named Thomas went to school and began being better with his teachers. He took reading upon himself, trying to turn himself into a believer. His teachers noticed his initiative and told Thomas how proud they are of him. The hippopotamus named Thomas thought, "I want to continue this trend." After school, Thomas met his friends outside and said, "Come on, let's all play." His friends were so surprised they didn't know what to say. "Yes!" And finally, Thomas' friends proclaimed. "Thanks for not letting us down," happily they exclaimed. The hippopotamus named Thomas smiled inside because him and his friends were close again. He had to keep sticking to his word. He loved all of his friends. After playing, Thomas went home and started his daily chores. He felt so proud he was cleaning that he even scrubbed the floors. The hippopotamus named Thomas realized how good it made him feel to not only do what he said he was going to, but to be appreciated a great deal. Once he finished, Thomas sat in his mom's lap and told her how much he appreciated her teaching him a lesson like that. "I won't even tell you I'm going to stick to my word, Mama, 'cause I want to show you instead." His dad stood there smiling. "We're so proud of you," they said. The hippopotamus named Thomas, who never kept a promise, decided to change that day for good. From now on, he would always do what he said he would. His friends were happy with Thomas. His parents were proud of their son. His teachers were thrilled of their student, and the hippopotamus named Thomas became reliable from then on. And like all good stories by Mama B, the hippopotamus named Thomas, his parents, teachers, and friends lived happily ever after. The end.